Well, I'd like to welcome everybody today on this beautiful day in the village of Pawling. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited today about this. This is unbelievable that what we're going to do here today. The senator gets this. This is an economic development project. He understands what the state's doing here, and he's helping us out here today he's going to present us with a grant today. And I can't thank him enough for that. And I just want to say, talking to people about this village green, and mainly some of you remember where the old Carl Amers building was. It's an empty lot right now. But the person that owns that, he came into the planning board probably 2-3 weeks ago. And we all know where the economy is today. We're just hoping it gets stronger. And to me, this is a big part of that, this green here, this economic development. Because he says he's going to start his project in the spring, and a lot of it's pertained to the village green. He just thinks he's not going to have a problem. The way the village is looking, he thinks it's great, and it's going to help him with his project. Another person, anybody remembers Hildenbrand's? I think Lori might. There's a person approaching us now. He's talking about doing a restaurant there. And again, it relates to the village green. There's the Bill Finn house. If anybody's familiar with that, next to where the dry cleaners would. If you take a look at that, they invested a lot of money in that. And they came to Pawling. They could have came from anywhere. They were living out in Long Island. And they came to Pawling, and they saw what we were doing here. And I think that's a big part of what government, we're doing our part to help grow economic development. With that, I've said enough, and I'd like our Sheriff, Butch Anderson, to please say a few words. Thank you, Sheriff.
Good morning, everybody. What Rob said is certainly true, but I think the best thing about Pawling is all the people that live here. I have to tell you right off the bat, no matter what, Nancy Tanner is my cousin. And I want everybody to know that. But you look out here, you see the Busbys, you see Dr. Coulter, you see Nancy, all, I'm going to say, people that have lived here for many years. Earl, I was born and raised in the house that I live in. You take Pawling, the village, the town, you take the education, Arch Smith, second to none in education and caring about the community. That's the main thing. If you meet the people that live in Pawling, that's where your money is. They're great, our churches, our education, everything here. Now, you've got a young man sitting next to me, Marcus Molinaro. None of you know him that well. I've known him for many years. Used to be the mayor of Tivoli. He's running for county executive. We aren't supposed to bring politics into this, and I don't want to, but I want to tell you this is a good man that has seen growth throughout small villages and towns. He's been involved in it, and he was just telling me a few minutes ago how great Tivoli looks when they got all done with everything, and how great Pawling's going to look. But the main selling point in Pawling is the people themselves. And you look here, Greg Ball, he's from Pawling. He's not just helping us out. This is his hometown. He's come a long way. You'll never meet anybody that campaigns harder or works harder than this kid. And his parents are here, and he's done an awful lot for Pawling. And we appreciate everything you've done. Dave Kelly, he's our supervisor. He's born and raised in Pawling. And these are good people, and we have great selling point in just the people. I'm proud my sister and my brother-in-law were one of the first ones. They gave $10,000 to this project. I wondered why, and now I know why. And it's going to be great. I think everybody's going to be happy once it's done. You have to remember, when I was mayor, I put the sewers in. And that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to Pawling. And they wanted to tar and feather me. Of course, they still do now. But it was a good thing. and it was something we needed. But you look at everybody out here that volunteers for things. We take care of our own the best we can. And John, you do an awful lot for seniors and everybody else, and you should be recognized for that. Everybody out here we could go through and see what they've done for our community. And that's the selling point. And I'm proud to be in Pawling. I'm proud to be born and raised here. My son, it's a great place, and I thank you for what you've done and everybody else that's involved in this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff. Great words. Our next speaker is Marcus. Thank you, sir.
Apparently I'm the guy you don't know. Sheriff, thank you. Those were very kind words. As the sheriff mentioned, I spent 12 years as mayor of the village of Tivoli, where we engaged in what we called our streetscape project, funded in part by both assistance we secured by then Governor Pataki, excuse me, and also Dutchess County through the Community Development Block Grant Program. And in fact, my state senator, Steve Salan, secured assistance for us to move that project forward. And all I can tell you is when we invest in village centers, the payback is tenfold. And when as a community you come together to invest in partnership in this kind of revitalization, I assure you, you will see great benefit. Not only the benefit economically and the jobs that get created, but from a community perspective, a sense of pride. And what I do know, coming from a village that is very proud of its history, the village of Pawling shares in that. And I will tell you, Mayor Slocum, when I was first elected mayor, I was young. He wasn't. Well, he was younger. I was 19, and my first excursion out of Tivoli was here. We had a mayor's forum right here in Pawling, and we tried to learn the lessons of the village of Pawling. And I want you to know that the lessons that the mayor at the time was telling and the lessons that this mayor talks about and what the senator is supporting is the work that you've done. As citizens, as residents, as individuals committed to making the community better, we learned from you. Now, let me commend Senator Ball and his commitment to this project. And I know that Senator Greg Ball understands the value of investing in our village centers and the value in investing in this kind of initiative. I know that because for 4 years I sat next to him. And for those 4 years I was not able to teach him anything about politics or about service in the legislature. But what I did teach him is the absolute importance and value of our villages. And let me tell you, he got it. I taught him everything I know. No. So let me commend all of you and thank you for allowing me to join with you today. Keep up the wonderful work, and Senator, thank you for your investment. To all of you, thanks for your commitment to the community that you love. Thanks.
I don't want it to go unknown here, but the works of the village, it's not me. I think we got to recognize Jennifer Osborne for all her hard work and all that she does for the village. Thank you, Jennifer. Next is John Tomes, our county legislator, our mayor. John.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say that congratulations to the committee. Congratulations to everybody who worked so hard on this for years. Originally, Greg was going to bring us $5,000 when he was an assemblyman. And of course, things get vetoed, thrown out in Albany, just like everywhere else. But Greg's father, Bobby, kept saying, be patient, be patient, be patient. And today, Greg's here with a check for $250,000. And Bobby, I know what you meant. And we all believe in the family. And Greg, congratulations. And where is the check anyway? Okay. Anyway, congratulations to the committees that worked on this. Congratulations to our mayor.
Thank you, John.
Now he can afford a necktie. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here today.
Thank you, John. Our next speaker, our town supervisor, Dave Kelly. Thanks for coming, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I guess yesterday I was at a press conference and it was nice to have two assemblymen here. We have our senator. We have our assemblyman back again. You know, this is what it's all about. The Village of Pawling spoke. The community spoke. We have representation from the county. They've spoken in this project. Now we have our state representatives listening. And this is what happens when you have a community that's as strong as we do here, whether it's a village or the town. We're one. We still feel we're one. But you know, when you have people who spearhead this, like Art Smith, Nancy Tanner, and all the rest of the community board, you know, it makes us a strong community. So what more could they do but embrace this project? So on the town's behalf, I thank everybody here from the village. I thank all of the community board, the foundation board members for their tireless efforts and the time that they put in on this project. And look at this. I mean, we were here last year. This is totally different. And I know from the carnival that was the other night and the Memorial Day service that was held, people love this and how it is right now. I've heard a lot of people come up to me. I said, please don't, you know, I will pass it on. This was the community foundation with Mr. Smith and mayor and the village trustees and the village board with their support over the years. This is what you brought, and I thank you. You brought a gem to the village of Pawling. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Up by choice, John, it's just an accident. You got our town highway super, John Daly, and thank you for coming today. If you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome. Thank you, John. Our next speaker is Art Smith. He's chairing the Community Foundation. I know he's put a lot of time and were you absent that day you got elected? I was trying to figure that out. Thank you, Art.
Butch spoke about so many people being born in Pawling. I'm a newcomer. I've been here 37 years. But Pawling is a great place. And what amazes me with this project is the fact that it's not the local tax dollars paying for it. We raised 2.4 plus some more money from a little bit from the state, a little bit from the government, a lot from Pawling citizens. And the partnership between the public and the private is what makes this country work. And this is a perfect example of it. And I tell friends what I'm doing with this, and first they look at me like you're crazy. And secondly, they say, how could a small village like Pawling raise $2.4 million without taxing its citizens? This is something that most communities haven't done and will not do. And it's thanks to the good work and all the names that have already been mentioned, and the members of the Pawling Community Foundation, the village board, and all of the supporters we have, because there certainly are naysayers. There's an old Chinese proverb that in order to make an omelet, you have to break eggs. And we've broken a lot of eggs in this project, but I think it's going to be quite nice. So thank you for your support, your generosity, and the great things ahead for Pawling. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. Our next speaker, who always talks about partnership, and that's our president of our chamber, Peter Chris.
Rob has been on my case for 2.5 years about economic development. But even before that, we've always talked about partnering. And that's my theme, and everyone I think that's heard it too often has stopped complaining and maybe just ignoring me when I use that word. But it's true, as we've all heard this morning, even Dave Kelly is using partnering. And we're all using partnering, and the country should be using more partnering as we do here. This is the best example of partnering that I've experienced, and I'm working in the metropolitan area for 25 years. And when Pawling came about, I said, well, economic development here, you have everything here. What's needed? Because I've been in the Bronx working on economic development, White Plains working on economic development, and fortunate enough to work with Dutchess County Tourism for 12 years with Karen Woods and now Mary Kay doing a great job. It's all about partnering with economic development, with tourism, with the communities, the municipalities. Today, what you see assembled here, and we had that yesterday, we didn't have Greg yesterday, but we see it today. Every level, almost every level of government, state government is here. And that's what we need to move forward, including the construction guys. And those are props. I mean, they're almost finished with this project. But we staged this just to make sure that you knew that this project is nearing completion. So thank you, Arch, for doing that, and Mayor, for you doing that. Well, we will continue to work on economic development for this community, Route 22, as well as the village, as we are doing now, and looking forward to also working with Greg as we move forward. Thank you. Great job to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Well, just thank everybody for all those kind words today, and all your hard effort to bring us where we're at today. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our Senator, Greg Paul.
It's just a pleasure to be here this morning, and I just want to, when you think about the village of Pawling and the town of Pawling, the reality is that you all have something very, very special. And Pawling is a very special village. It's a very special town. And I know that sometimes it's easy to take that for granted, but that's so very true. And whether it be the work of any number of mayors, from Slocum to Tomes to Butch Anderson was my mayor when I was growing up. You want to blame me being in politics? Blame Butch Anderson, because I looked up to this guy. I thought he was a John Wayne of Dutchess County. He would stand up around Christmas time, and everybody just loved him, and they still love him. You either want to love Butch or be Butch, or probably both. And we have very special personalities. John Tomes, who's the best comedian this side of the Mississippi River. He can make corpses laugh, and he does on a regular basis. And watching Mayor Liflin go door to door, they're just very special memories of this town. But if you go to towns in the Hudson Valley, they don't all look like this. And I'll never forget coming back in the driving rain from Washington, D.C. and meeting with Nancy Tanner and meeting with the mayor. And at that time, this project was not necessarily popular. On an entirely different topic, I have a proposal to fight for a state veterans cemetery. There are just one small example. There are 99,000 underserved veterans in our region. It's a no-brainer. It's a great program. Build the cemetery for those veterans who are underserved so they can take advantage of that. In politics, no good deed goes unpunished. And if it wasn't for the leadership of individuals like Nancy Tanner and everybody who's here today, this wouldn't have gotten done. And Pawling would not continue to be that magnet, but it's going to continue to be that magnet because you have the leadership of the people who are here. This is not my money. I am not a wealthy guy. This is not coming out of my bank account. It is your money. And you elected me, and you gave me the opportunity to decide. Your mayor gave me a call. Jennifer relentlessly said, "Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money?" And I made sure that Pawling was a priority. I love the village of Pawling, and I love the town of Pawling. I grew up here. I'm not just no matter where I live, I'm not your senator, I'm your neighbor. And I want you to know that I will be absolutely committed to this community for the rest of my life. I am proud to say a couple of things. One of the proudest things I'm proud to say is I grew up in Pawling, and then I'm from the town of Pawling. And that's from the bottom of my heart. So it's a pleasure to be here today. And Mayor, you take it over. And by the way, I'm Mark Molinaro. You can blame Butch for me getting into politics, and you can blame some of my speeches in the assembly on Mark. I can tell you this about Mark, and I want you to know it because it's important. You will not find somebody more qualified or more capable or has more deeper knowledge on a fundamental level when it comes to local governance than Assemblyman Molinaro. There were many times in the assembly, and he was on my right, not necessarily on all the issues, but he sat to my right. And there were many times I would bend over and say, "Mark, how about this, to try to get a little counsel before I got out and gave one of my tirades. And a couple times he saved my life, more than once, because of the knowledge that he has. And he's going to provide that stewardship for this county that'll take us moving forward. So God bless you all. Pleasure to be here today.
Again, thank everybody, and have a great occasion. Eddie, did you get something?